Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tim. This is another Real Ideal Gear Review. And today we're looking at the Wuben T1. This is a tactical flashlight that was recommended to me by my friend out in South Africa, Johanna. Johanna, if you're watching, thank you very much. This is one of my favorite tactical flashlights. There's a couple of things about it that I'm not too thrilled about, but overall this light does a lot of great things, has a lot of great features about this light. So we're going to start from the inside and work our way to the outside. On the inside we have an 18650 battery in here, but it does a great job. It's a good size. As far as the tactical use for flashlights, I think you're going to probably find that 18650 is at the top level of diameter of batteries when it comes down to tactical use, because when you get into that 21700 battery, it just gets to be a pretty bulky flashlight, especially if you're using it in a carrier or you're putting it on a belt holster, that kind of thing. If you're putting it into a pouch or into a pack or a pocket, a cargo pocket, not a big deal. But when it comes down to putting into something that's a little bit more confined, but also maybe a little bit easier to get at, you're really going to want to see that space is used more efficiently. So the 18650 to me is the biggest sized battery that I'm going to put together in a flashlight for tactical purposes. You're going to get a long run time, much better than you're going to get out of a AA battery. So to me, the 18650 has a lot of great things to offer, but just keep in mind it's probably a little bit more bulky. Now, the lens on here is great. It's a very shiny, very polished reflector, I should say, in here. And so you're going to get a very nice long throw, a spotlight beam. You have a very deeply set emitter in here. The emitter, let's see what the emitter is on this one. There it is. It's the SST40. So you're going to have, in this case, it's a very cool emitter. I believe it's 6,000 Kelvin is the, where is it at? Yeah, 6,000 degrees Kelvin for the temperature of the beam itself. So you're going to get a very bright light, but this is very much a spotlight type tactical flashlight. So you're going to get a long throw with this. The candela on this is 60,000 candela. Now here's the catch, 2,000 lumens. So what that tells you, that combination of lumens and candela, sometimes you can get 75,000 lumen or 75,000 candela out of like the Nitecore EDC35. But it's also a 5,000 lumen flashlight. This is a 2,000 lumen flashlight, getting you 60,000 candela. So that really tells you they focus the beam of light as it comes out of here, using that reflector and the emitter together to really give you a very hot spot on this flashlight. It does have good spill. There's a video here I'm showing you of that. But overall, this flashlight does perform really well for that long distance, that medium to long distance tactical use. Up close and personal, I think the hotspot is just too bright, too focused, and can kind of be distracting, especially if you're doing close quarters type stuff. If you're doing home searches and things like that, this might be a little bit too focused of a beam for that. But again, it's kind of hard. Like when it comes to tactical purposes, guys will say, "Well, yeah, you can use that in CQB," and I understand you can. I'm just talking about like if you do primarily house clearing, which is what law enforcement primarily does, this flashlight may not be for that. I think this is more of a military style flashlight because of the long distance throw that you get out of this, the spotlight beam that comes out of this. I think this is more of a military tactical use rather than a law enforcement tactical use, especially if you're doing, if you're a city cop, you're doing a lot of, very urban settings, you're doing shorter distance kind of things. So that's just my preference on this. I'm not saying that's the way it goes, but that's just my preference on that. So that's where I think this flashlight fits in. Now, what about the outside? There's a lot of stuff going on with this flashlight on the outside. You've got a lot of good grip surfaces on here. You have a rubber ring on here, which I'm not exactly sure what this is for, but it offers a little bit more of a grip. Like when I grab onto this flashlight and you do the hammer grip on here and you're operating the tilt switch, you've got your fingers kind of around this rubber ring, and I think that's a pretty good deal. And yeah, I don't mind it. I've left it on here just to see how it works. So far, so good. It's when I've taken it in and out of my plate carrier, you'll see that video of this. It does get caught on that, depending on which way you want to put this in. Because it has a larger head on the flashlight, I think it's better to put this in tail first. But that kind of pushes this up because it does move on this rubber O-ring kind of thing. Does move. You could take it off, and I'm hesitant to take it off because I want to see how it works over the long haul. But so far, so good. I do like the tactile nature of this. You do have a little bit of heat dispersal here with the cuts, the CNC machining that you have up here on the head of the flashlight. Now, when it comes to this clip, it's a two-way clip, and I love this clip. Very sturdy. This is definitely one that you can have go two directions as far as in the pocket, facing up, facing down. It's not a deep carry by any means. It's also screwed in. You can see right here that this is not something that you can switch to a different location as far as I know. I'm checking around here. Nope. There is just this location for that. So to me, that's okay. I don't mind that. So when it comes down to the clip and the attachment point, it works great. And I think it worked fine on the plate carrier. It's a little bit bulky. Again, I think because of the head on here, I think it's going to be a little bit tougher for the typical law enforcement chest rig. But we'll see. I'm not a fan of this particular light for that particular rig. Now, something on the belt might be working better. Definitely pockets, cargo pants pockets, or jacket pocket, or backpack, that kind of thing. Now, moving back to what I think is one of the best features of this watch is the tail switch. This tail switch is a three-way switch, pushing down, pushing away, or pulling towards you. So when I push down, I turn and activate the light, okay? And I can click it, I can go half, or I can go full click. All right, and then I can go through and cycle. Now I'm pushing and I'm cycling through. Okay, and there's a tactical mode and there's an outdoor mode. I've got it set up on the outdoor mode. So I do like the tail switch. Now you can switch this from outdoor mode to tactical mode, and it's 5 clicks plus 1, and you can switch from outdoor to tactical. So just keep that in mind. It was not in the instructions. So I was searching around like, wait a minute, there's an outdoor mode, but they don't tell me in the instructions how to get to it. So I went online on the YouTubes there and I found it, and not a big deal. 5 clicks plus 1, and it gets you into the outdoor mode or into the tactical mode. So overall, I do like this flashlight. I think it's got a great medium to long range usefulness to me when it comes down to my outdoor work, which is primarily what I'm doing now. I'm not doing the law enforcement stuff anymore. I think this is a great campsite flashlight. You can cover the perimeter, you can cover the campsite. This is a great one to have in your cargo pants pockets and the side pockets, a jacket pocket, that kind of thing. I think it's a little tougher for actual law enforcement. I would not be a fan of this one on my chest carrier, my plate carrier. The pockets are just too tight, and you don't want big bulky things to stack up on your chest. Like you just have too many things. Your handcuffs, you've got your mags, you've got your radio, flashlight, notepad, that kind of. You have all this stuff on the front of your chest rig, and to me, this is just a little bit too bulky for that. But I think it actually would work very well for the military. They have a little different setup, and I think they can have a little bit bulkier things on there because they're not carrying around pistol mags, they're carrying around AR mags, and they're battle loadouts and all that stuff. So anyway, I think this is probably more of a military tactical flashlight, but I do like it. 2,000 lumens, 60,000 candela, great outputs, 18650 battery, fantastic overall setup. I really do like this flashlight a lot. When you want to charge this, I almost forgot about this. When you want to charge this, all you have to do is you turn, let's see here. You just have to turn, I think it's just this part right up here. Yep. You turn this and you expose the ring, and there's your charging port right there. Okay, and then you close it up. And I do like that system a lot. I've seen that on a few other flashlights now, so to me that's a great setup. So there's your charging system. Everything can be self-contained. You have to take the battery out if you don't want to, but you can take off the tail switch and take the battery out. You can replace it with a new battery if you don't have the cord to charge. And just a great overall tactical flashlight with a very strong focused spot beam. So there you go. The Wuben T1. I like it a lot. Thank you, Johan, for pointing this out. And I think this is a very good tactical flashlight. Probably not for law enforcement, but overall tactical flashlight. It has its uses for long range, medium to long range type things. So put in the comments down below what you think of this flashlight, what you think of Wuben. If there's other flashlights in the Wuben series that I should be taking a look at. Would love to get your feedback on this. Also, this is flashlight week, so we're going to go through a bunch of flashlights. So if you enjoyed this video, there's more to come this week. I've got a massive video on outdoor flashlights. It's like an hour long. I go through a whole list. Almost all the flashlights that I have are on the table, and we go through all that too. So check out all those videos for this week, especially because it's just flashlight after flashlight. Look forward to hearing from you. My name is Tim, and this has been another Real Ideal Gear Review. I'll catch you guys next time.